Hello, and on the gaming table today, we're taking a look at DBMM, Me Learning to Play. So I wanted to play DBMM. There's quite a lot of players in Hong Kong here and at the local Wargaming Society that play DBMM. And so it's something I've been meaning to learn. And there's quite a few talented and very experienced DBMM players in Hong Kong. So I tried to get a chance to learn from them. So this is a quick overview of my first 400 AP battle. I played a 100 AP tournament that took place at the Hong Kong Society of Wargamers a few months ago. And that was quite a lot of fun, but of course 100 AP battles quite small. You can see the video of that that I put up showing some of the games. They're quite small compared to a 400 AP battle, which is what a lot of players play. So I got together with Matt at the Tiger Room. The Tiger Room is run by Lawrence. He quite kindly supplies the space and all the figures and everything for people to play lots of different games, just as on a private affair. It's not a business or anything, but really appreciate Lawrence's support in helping me to learn to play DBMM, and also Matt in having a game with me today so that we could learn a bit more about it. So this was the army that I was using. This was put together by Lawrence. He said, here's a good training army, and apparently a lot of the people in Hong Kong who've learned to play at the Tiger Room have used this army. So it's Romans, we've got Legionarii, we've got Auxilia, some Auxilia Superior there, but the main strike force is in Command B there with Gothic Lancers and Armoured Horse Archers. Okay, I know they can quick kill things, they can crunch into things, but also because they're fast, they're a little bit fragile as well. Now, Matt was using later pre-Islamic Arab Lakhmids. I don't know very much about them. They are an irregular army, so they potentially are a little bit less controllable. And the things I noted, he had Cav Superior, Light Horse Ordinary, Bow Ordinary, and Blade Inferior in big chunks of his army, as well as Siloi and a few other little bits and pieces. So this is what I was up against. One thing I don't know very much about in DBMM is how the things like superior, fast, and inferior affect the combats all of the time. I'm not really up to play with all the ratings and things. I'll learn those as I go along, but today it was just like, get stuck in, see what we can learn, have a bit of fun. So here's the deployment. Lawrence was available at the beginning to help work out the deployment, and so he suggested this, which is basically trying to get all of the cavalry round to the right flank here into kind of the flanking zone, and then kind of go up against the Cav Superior, which are at the top right of the picture there. Kind of the middle and the left commands here would just kind of hold everything together. So this was kind of the chunk of my army that was hopefully going to do the most damage. Over here, we've got the Arab Lakhmids, and they're, a big chunk of blades there. You can see kind of in the middle, the bow there, just between the two measuring sticks, and then most of the cavalry up at the top of the picture there. So in the first couple of turns, or this is the first turn, I think, moved up, kind of got the cavalry kind of all organized there. People will be telling me you're doing things wrong right away if you're an experienced DBMM player. But I'm like, okay, let's just see what we can do. I had a lot of help here in trying to figure out how do I move things through columns and then put them into lines and making the best use of pips and so on. I think the one thing that worked for me all game was that I did roll a high number of pips. Generally speaking, I was getting a lot of 5s and 6s for my lead commands, so that was helpful. But yeah, this is how things started out. So looking here, one thing I was a little bit worried about was what those bow would do. I didn't want to run into them too much. I was hoping to get my legionaries into the bow there. Matt here, you can see in the background there, just starting to move some things around, has his cavalry in a big line there. He's got his cavalry superior kind of in the middle, and then at the back behind the light horse, and he's kind of getting his bowmen starting to get towards into range here. So here's the view from my cavalry command. Okay. Oh, actually, one other thing I should mention with this cavalry command. So the light horse that are in the middle, the ones kind of in the white surcoats there, they're actually part of a different command. So the Legionarii command, which is in the middle of the field, actually has these light horse as well. So basically all of the red caped figures here, I guess, the front line of light horse and the rear line there are one command, and the light horse in the middle are actually from a separate command using different pips. So here is that second command, and you can see the tiny little third command I have there on the very left of the picture as well, kind of covering the flank. Here's Matt moving things up, trying to get to grips with that third command over on my left flank there. Over here on the right, this is probably where things didn't go too well. It kind of felt like there was too many light horse on my way here to be able to get the knights into combat. So maybe people have comments about that. If you've got thoughts or comments about what I should have done here, let me know in the comments. Here are things getting to grips on the left side. And Matt putting everything a little closer here, getting to grips with the units. So this is how things looked as combat started to initiate. Again, because there was probably too many light horse in front of everything, I sent the first line of light horse, as it were, into the cavalry right at the top of the picture there. We'll see more of that in a moment. And here you can see the blades starting to go up against the bows in the middle. Here's that cavalry charging in, the light horse, excuse me, charging into the cavalry. The legions in there supporting Auxilia and some Scythoi there, looking forward to those archers. And here, this is where things didn't go too well for me. So my light horse charging in there, I think I lost 3 elements here. Lots of bounces and things here. I had feigned flight as a feature. I'm not sure what you call it in DBM actually, a ruse, what is it? But wasn't able to use it throughout the whole game here, just because the situation never eventuated where I could actually use it. But yeah, here my light horse kind of got crunched up a bit here without doing any real damage to the Arab line. So this is where things kind of stood. Things starting to go a little bit quarter circle here, as you can see, as the flank on the left starts to take some pressure. One little bright point here was this Auxilia unit right on the flank here took on a column here of Scythoi. He actually managed to hold them off the entire game, kept pushing them back, ended up killing 3 elements out of that column, just kept beating them back and stopping them getting around the flank. So I guess that was one good thing. I was actually worried that those Scythoi would actually be able to move around my flank a lot more easily, but apparently not. Once I'd engaged them in that column, they were kind of stuck. So here you can see my pip rolls for one of my turns. I got a 6, a 4, and a 3 here. I was rolling pretty good the whole game, but then yeah, things sometimes with the combat dice weren't really working out. Here the legions go charging in to the cavalry. So the cavalry got through the bows here and took up the front rank basically. So then it was the legion against the cavalry, and that's, you know, there's a lot of grinding going on there, but not a lot of result. Lots of pushbacks and things, but no kills really here. Up there you can see at the top there, Matt's charging in with his cavalry superior into light horse. Mainly, I think there's 1 or 2 knights maybe in there as well, but he decided to get stuck in there. And then the left flank, my left flank, still kind of holding it together. In the middle, lots of pushing and shoving, not much else going on there. And over here, yeah, losing a lot of light horse, and the knights are just about to get engaged. So when the knights got in here, they actually did manage to do some pushbacks, do a bit of damage, take out a couple of units, but things were getting pretty fragmented, whereas Matt still got a pretty solid line, and yeah, that wasn't looking too good over there. And then as things went on and Matt kind of counterattacked in here, it, you know, started to get a little bit worse. The legions were kind of holding their own, but the flanks were kind of collapsing on both sides. Down here, the small command was generally holding things off. He did manage to take out a couple of units here, kind of in the middle right of the picture. And then this is right at the end. So basically most of my knights here at this stage have been beaten back. That command is broken, I think. They're starting to rout backwards here. This is where we decided to call the game. The middle kind of holding strong, lost a couple of legions. But yeah, the flank with all my punch power is basically gone. So yeah, lots more learning needed from me. As I mentioned, I need to learn a lot more about the combat factors and how the superior fast and furious thing works and all the different to's and fro's. The DBMM, I know it's a complex game, right? There's a lot of bits and pieces and how they interact with each other. It's all very learnable, but there's just quite a lot to learn. There are a few things that are a little bit complicated as well, things that are, you know, a little bit of a head scratcher, or there's a lot of, you know, little rule details that you need to learn. So it does take quite a bit of time to learn, but really it's just learned by playing. You know, I'll get into it, I'll play games. Maybe I can't play as much as other people. My learning curve might take a lot longer, but we'll keep at it and we'll see what we can do. So anyway, I hope that was a little bit interesting to see a DBMM game. You can comment how I did. Not so good, I know, but maybe if you've got advice for me, let me know in the comments below. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.